and welcome to the new episode of Action Reaction. Today's review is special for me. Today I finally have in my hand the Superman, or should I say, for now, the quintessential Superman. Specifically, the Mafex Superman action figure. I am really thrilled to have this piece in my hand. I'm really thrilled, let me tell you that. So I technically am a Superman fan, so I have a lot of Superman action figures in my collection. So today, I will not only review this action figure, but I also have to make a judgment that will this be the guy who will beat all the other Superman and take the center stage in my Superman display collection. So before we actually explore this particular action figure, why not we give it a chance and just explore this box a little. So as it says, we have the Hush Superman. This is specifically from the Batman Hush storyline. We'll talk about it a bit later. So as you see, we have a front display screen wherein we see the Superman, we see the accessories, we see the Mafex Medicom logo. Of course, it's a DC product and Superman in all his glory. If we move it to the left side, we get a full sculpt of Superman. It is number 117 from the Mafex line. In the back end, we get certain action poses that are displayed. Specifically, we have the Batman Blue from Batman Hush. We kind of get a quick view as to what we are getting with this box. So that's good to have. And finally, again, another action pose for Batman Hush Superman. And this one looks pretty rad. Alright, so since we have done it, let's go ahead and open this particular box. I'm sorry, for some reason, today we do not have Dean. We are just going to find a replacement. I do not know, frankly, where I placed him. So let's get this particular action figure out of the box in our hands. Okay. Oh, damn. Oh no. So this box has the cover of Batman Hush. I'll try to find the issue that had this particular as the cover image. This image looks extremely nice. I'm really happy with this image. I'll probably cut this box and set it up somewhere. But let's go towards our action figure. Let me place this box. Let's see what do we have. Okay, safely packed. We see the action figure. We see an alternate head. We see some Poison Ivy vines. We see a strange hand, and I'm assuming this is a Batman's hand. Along with it, 4 different pairs of hands. So in all, we have 5 individual hands. So let's sort of take it out of the box and set it up on our table. Okay, this has some, oh, okay. So they have just decided to fall down. So I'll be a bit safe around here. Okay, so we have our action figure. Let's see if he stands up out of the box. So he is not making it easier for me. Probably I have a bad base, but yeah, I will not sort of judge critically on this. Okay, we'll deal with this later. Okay, so with this action figure, I have a couple of hands that are already out of the box, so I'll try and keep them up. The alternate Superman head. Yep, angry. Then some vines, as you can see. A Batman hand with what appears to be a kryptonite ring. And some more vines. This is what we are getting, and I'm really disappointed. Maybe it's me. Oh, there he goes. Okay, so this is what we get out of our package. So what we have displayed are the entire contents of the box. We have our Superman action figure. We have 3 Poison Ivy vines. We have an alternate head for Superman, and that is an angry head. We have a display stand that goes with this figure, and we also have 4 individual pair of hands that come out as an accessory. So including his figure hands, that's a total of 5 different pair of hands that we can use for our posing. This is pretty much rad. Now just to go, you can have a look at this ivies. This actually go around his hand. I'll try to put in a picture wherein it shows the comic book cover, which has Superman in that particular pose. We have this specific Batman hand, Yeah, this I believe will go nicely along with the Batman Hush blue variant of this figure, and it has, as you can see, a kryptonite ring attached to it. And finally, the stand. Now let's get the accessories out of our way. Let's go ahead and explore this action figure. Yep. Okay. So as I do with my review, I'll just, turn this figure around, give you a chance to appreciate the efforts that have been put in designing and articulating this figure. So let's just go. Let's turn it around. This is pretty nice. Oh man. Wow. Okay. So that's a quick turnaround. Now let's go and look at the design of this figure. Let's have a look at this design of this figure, in specifically the details that have been put. So let's look at the head. So it is much of a grin looking Superman that I see, not the happy cheery, but that was the storyline. I mean, when he was introduced into Batman Hush, he was sort of angry, pissed off kind of Superman. And again, we have the signature curl. We have the hair that has been designed very well. We go down, it has a perfect, the head has the perfect proportion to the body. That's what I feel. We come down, we see the S symbol, and this is, I believe McFarlane had one of the best symbol, but this is a close competition to that. I like the McFarlane Superman symbol more, but this is a close competition. And again, you see all those muscles that have been articulated. And I mean, this is a very basic old school Superman figure. He comes in his blue skin tight outfit, his yellow belt buckle, his red trunks, his blue pant, and his red boots with the creeps properly displayed. Right? That's how it is. So it's your quintessential Superman, the Superman that we know. Looking at his cape, yep, it comes with, the best thing about this is this cape stays true to the source material, and it has a yellow Superman symbol on his back. This certainly wins at a point. Now I'm not sure if I want to display it like this. Yeah, that's when it will be more prominent, but I do love to know the fact that I have a Superman which has this S symbol at its back. And again, this is basically a 6.3 inch action figure. And this has the cape which has, I believe, some wired fabric, so we will be able to customize this based on the action pose, something like this. Let's look at this. Now let's quickly take a look. I mean, overall what I would say is this stays true to the design material. I was more happy with the way the McFarlane Superman, the original Superman that had come out, it had problem with the proportions of its head again, but the body was, and again that was a 7-inch one, the body was much better, but this I wouldn't complain. I would still tie them very neck to neck, and this is true. This is what the source material usually is, so I like them. Right, now let's take a look at the articulation. So the head turns both ways. Let's see if it goes around. It goes completely around. It goes, there is no upward movement. It goes this much down. That's very fair. Again, no up movement, and pretty much down. Okay, this guy, let's have a look. These are his shoulder. The shoulder, yeah, they go completely around. It has a bicep curl which also moves around, and I believe these are double joint. Yeah, because this is how much it goes back, which is more than 90 degree, which makes me happy. Then if you look at his hands, there is no in and out, it just turns around. So, but it goes up and down. So the last figure I reviewed, that was the Clone Trooper, it had a specific articulation wherein the hand could go in and out. This one lacks it, but it goes a bit up, a bit down, and completely around. So I would say good in terms of articulation. Let's see, he has a chest articulation. Let's see how much he does justice to that. So here, removing his cape, let's put him a bit down. That is impressive. This is very nice. And he goes, oh, but this is more because of his waist joint. So let's keep his waist intact. Let's try this. Okay, now not so much. If you can see, now it doesn't go really forward. If I put a lock on his waist, it doesn't go up forward. Let's see in terms of back. Yeah, it goes sufficiently back. Yep, and it goes wherein it is not breaking the general rhythm of the figure, so it's nice. Now I think it's, yeah, and it also does a side to side swivel. So here is it. Here is the figure in the straight pose. This much to the left side, this much to the right side. So I think this is good. Now I think waist is something good. Because of waist, he was able to go this much down, which is nice. let's go, and he goes this much up. So I think this significantly removes any limitations on his head going back, which is a plus. And I think this is similar to the Mandarin's prawn that I had. So this waist covers a lot. And let's see if it goes. Yeah, it goes completely around. So that's nice. I mean, of course, we are not going to have a backward Superman, but still, it's nice. Now let's take a look at his leg. Okay, this is how much it goes up. Let's see in terms of back. Yeah, not that much. It doesn't go that much back. I think because of his trunk, that's a limitation on him. But I think front wise, it's good. It doesn't look like a double jointed knee. So let's see. The knee goes up, and okay, this is good. So effectively, he can almost reach his back, but this is a really good movement. I like this. I think it's a double jointed knee. I'm sorry. Yeah, so it is really nice. It actually covers the peg, so it's really nice. And then come to his toe. Yep, this much down, not really up, but this much down, and it does not go side by side. So okay. And I mean, again, toe articulations are sort of like a waist. I do not like them. They make the figure a bit unsturdy. So I'm fine as long as anything that makes him stand sturdy, I should still be good. And again, he has this. This is like, I'm not sure. I think Medicom came earlier. I do not know who has the proprietary rights for this particular articulation, but I enjoy it on McFarlane. I am going to enjoy it on Mafex. So very nice. So I would say overall, articulation wise, this is really good. Now let's go ahead and put some, accessories on this guy. Okay, so we finally have our Superman in the standing position. So now let's try and put some accessories around him. So let's get, and it really bothers me. I mean, if only he has two separate set of heads, and both of them are kind of angry pose. I mean, what is Superman if he is not a symbol of hope? So I believe one happy, smiling face would have been nice. But yeah, those are the cards dead. So I think we should be happy. Let's try his head. Oh, it easily comes out. So that's really a plus. And this easily goes in. So cool. So no, I like this particular articulation. I mean, I like this particular ball joint. It really doesn't, complicate the process. I mean, I've tried it with Hasbro. I mean, you really have to stick it up, but this one is nice. Okay, so that was the only head. Let's have a look at his hands. And before his hands, why not we put those wines? So we already had struggling beating hands. Let's see, this is the left. Okay, the one which could probably be a flying pose for him, right? This one. And let's see what else can we do. Yeah, so if you want a menacing Superman, I believe the one hand that I'm putting, okay, I just complimented on head, but the hands look a bit sticky. Yeah, so this is it. Yeah, I don't think so. This is a good representation of that hand, but yeah, probably somewhere wherein he's angry, he wants to show his anger. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, okay, come on. Yeah, I'm ready for you. This looks nice. Yep. Other than that, let's make him a complete hush. Okay, let's get these wines in. Let's put this hand in. Okay. Yeah. There it is. Let's put this one more wine in. Yep. And I think so this one goes his head. So completely within the control of Poison Ivy. Yeah, this is the bad Superman that we are talking about. And look at his eyes. I mean, they are actually, if you see the little tint of red, that is actually, he's trying to shoot his laser eyes. So this is nice. So perfect. I mean, since we have this, I mean, I'm not gonna put him with Ivy stuff, but I will be putting him, completely pissed off. Let's see what this cape can do. What hand would be better? Okay, let's try this one. Let's try this one, wherein he's sort of holding his cape in certain ways. So if we have him, yeah. So this is normally what Batman does. A Superman saving somebody with his cape or something like that. Yeah, so a nice cape, I would really say. Let's see if he can completely enclose himself with that cape. Yeah, he can pretty much, almost is what I'll say. He can enclose himself with that cape, yeah, in case he starts feeling cold. But let's see. Yep. Yeah, and Superman doesn't really carry his cape this way. It's always sort of hanging in his back. So yep, overall very nice. I do like this. Yeah, let's see how the stand is. I mean, this stand is going to create a problem for his cape. That is something that I do feel, and that was the same problem with McFarlane. Let's see how this handles it. I think it needs to go, yeah, here. Let's see. Oh man, did I really take out its hand? Yep, easily comes out, easily goes in. Okay, yeah, not so bad. The stand stays a bit sturdy, so we are good with that. It stays a bit sturdy, but it needs to be, yeah, for some reason it is not sticking on his, below his waist. So I'm not sure, that could be a bit problematic. Yep. So I'm just going to try some alternate pose, and I'm going to use the McFarlane stand instead of the Mafex stand. I find Mafex stand a bit unstable, but McFarlane does the job pretty well. Now again, here I'm trying to do it in a different pose, and I'll let you know, and I'll just give you some history about this particular Superman. So this version of Superman came in Batman Hush, a storyline called Batman Hush, wherein Batman was attacked by one of his childhood friend called Thomas Elliot, and Batman was brought to the brink of his death, and when he recovered, he wanted to find out who was behind that plot. One particular, while investigating that particular case, he came into crossroads with Poison Ivy, who had Superman hypnotized and brought to her side. Batman and Superman had a battle in which Superman nearly took out Batman, but Batman, as always, had something up his sleeve. He put Lois Lane in the harm's way, which caused Superman to come out of that hypnotic spell, and Superman prevailed. That was a bit on the storyline. Now again, in terms of this figure, going back, this has a very good design, very good articulation, but in terms of, posing this figure, I see a lot of problems. Now this could just be me, where it could be my inability to properly pose this, and of course this is my first Mafex figure, so I'm not used to this particular brand, so it could be that. But again, going back to my original question, will it replace my other Supermans? Probably not. I think the McFarlane's first wave of Superman, that still happens to be best in terms of overall value. This is a close second. Yes, it has problems with its posing capabilities, but I mean, if I'm just gonna keep it hanging on there, I think this is a fine figure. So with that, I would like to close this review. Thank you everyone for joining, and have a great day.